Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Welcome back to our discussion on the Islamic banking business. One of the main problem that I see is the use of deposit fund to finance the contract of sale, the contract of lease, the contract of mudarabah, and I call it the real culprit because deposit fund should not be used to finance albay, because the nature of albay is very unique and it is much different from the interest-bearing loan. So I need to reiterate this again, that the Quran prescribed albay against riba in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 275, and we have to be very clear that albay deals with buy and sell. And the bank, as the selling party, must hold full ownership of the asset, because murabaha and buy bithaman ajil, buy muajjal, these are buy and sell contract where the bank serves as the selling party who sells the goods to the customer based on deferred payment. So the bank, as the selling party, must first hold full ownership of the asset before it sells it to the customer on installment payment. So consequently, when the bank holds full ownership of the asset before the resale, then the bank faces asset ownership risk. And this means that the bank must also hold high capital charges against this risky asset. Because once the bank put this asset on their book, then the danger of asset price will come in, and therefore the risk profiling of the asset will go up, and therefore the capital charges will also increase, because these are risky assets. And therefore bank avoid doing sale, that is buy and sell, and end up using many contentious contracts. So the root problem is the source of funding, which is deposit. Now, the Basel Committee of Banking Supervision defined deposit as loans. Thus, it is capital protected. Right? So, when deposit is a loan, it means that the lending party, these are the depositors, and the bank is the borrowing entity. So to motivate people to make longer placement via savings and fixed deposit, bank offers fixed interest on the deposit. So this allows depositors to enjoy capital appreciation without taking any risk. Of course, current account does not provide any interest income, but savings and term deposits do provide interest income. Now, Islamic bank may use so many terms to describe deposit, such as wadi'ah, damana, qardu, tawarruk, for their deposit product, but all are loan. Once this wadi'ah, qard, and tawarruk are defined as deposit, they are categorized as deposit fund, so they are basically loan, as these deposits is a legal claim, meaning that the depositor can claim the full amount of the deposit, at maturity, plus the profit, because that is the nature of deposit, that the depositors can withdraw at maturity the full amount of the placement plus the profit margin. Now, when Islamic bank use this deposit fund to do albay, to do sale, ownership risk in sale is carried by the bank because the depositors, in a way, have shifted the deposit risk to the bank. So meaning that when the depositors enjoy deposit appreciation, meaning that they are able to get back their placement amount and the interest income or the profit income, then the depositors enjoy the deposit appreciation without taking any risk. and that risk is shifted to the bank. Now, ownership risk is a special risk and highly dangerous to the bank. And therefore, many Islamic banks stayed away from albay as it is too risky. And when laden with ownership risk, which will trigger high capital charges, so banks are not interested to pursue sale. So this is not a viable business model for Islamic bank today that operates under the Basel regulation. So the way out is the investment account. For us to see or to secure the application of albay as prescribed by the Quran, then we will see the role of investment account, and I presume that the Central Bank of Malaysia have already guided Islamic Bank, to separate their funding into deposit and investment account, so as to see to what extent the Islamic Bank are now able to push the use of investment account, which can help promote the use of albay, the use of real sale, real leasing, mudarabah, musyarakah, and so on. So we just hope that this is doable, and we need to discuss this matter a lot more in the future. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to comment, to share, and to subscribe. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.